Can I park my food truck anywhere in New York? Well, food trucks have become a popular and convenient option for grabbing a quick bite to eat in the bustling cities like New York. The vibrant streets filled with hungry locals and tourists provide a lucrative market for aspiring food truck entrepreneurs. However, the question comes up is, can I park my food truck anywhere I want in New York City? Well, the answer is not as simple as a yes or no. Let's dive into the regulations, permits, and guidelines that govern parking a food truck in the Big Apple. So welcome back to Food Truck Freaks. This is YouTube's premier food truck entrepreneur channel, bringing you information, tips, and resources to launch and succeed at a food truck business. So my name is Damian Roberti, founder and CEO of our other YouTube channel, Marketing Food Online. We have tons of great food entrepreneur channels here on YouTube. Check out those links down in the description. So let's get started. Now, understanding the regulations. Now, this is something that's really, really quite intricate when it comes to New York specifically, because New York is extremely unique about its food truck entrepreneurs. Operating a food truck in New York requires careful adherence to variants of regulations set by the city authorities. Now, these regulations aim to ensure that public safety, maintain order, and prevent other potential health hazards. One key aspect, though, is these regulations is the parking restrictions imposed on food trucks. The New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene and the New York Department of Transportation, the DOT, work together to actually enforce the rules regarding food truck parking. Now, these regulations are in place to protect both the vendors, you, the food truck operator, and the general public. Also, you want to be sure to subscribe and definitely hit the turn on the bell notifications, as well as share our channel with someone you know who might be looking to launch a food truck business so you can catch up on all of the new videos we launch every single week here on Food Truck Freaks. All right, so parking restrictions. Now, specifically in New York City, food truck parking is subject to specific restrictions, primarily to maintain traffic flow. Now, this is something interesting also that affects pedestrian safety and the accessibility of your food truck, specifically on city streets. Now, the city has designated zones known as food truck zones, where food trucks are permitted to park and actually operate all day long. Now, one thing you got to know about this, though, specifically is that these zones are strategically located in high foot traffic areas and are typically marked by signage or even painted lines on the streets, letting people know that it's a food truck area. Now, it is important to note that the parking a food truck in non-designated areas can result in penalties, fines, and even the risk of having your truck towed away. The authorities are strict when it comes to this, guys. They want to enforce these regulations, so it's crucial that food truck owners be well-informed and compliant to these rules to make sure that you don't lose your food truck itself. Now, obtaining permits. Now, to legally park and operate a food truck in New York, vendors must obtain a variety, actually, of permits and licenses. Now, these permits also include some parking as well, are essential for ensuring that food trucks meet health and safety standards and maintain cleanliness and operate in a designated area. Now, the first permit required is the mobile food vendor license issued by the DOHMH. Now, this license ensures that your food truck meets all healthy and safe standard regulations and rules, and actually include proper handling of food, equipment, sanitation, and waste disposal. Now, it is actually mandatory for all food truck operators in New York City to have this. Additionally, food truck vendors must also obtain a parking permit from the DOT, Department of Transportation, by the way, which allows them to park in designated food truck zones. And this permit is specific to each and every individual food truck and must be prominently displayed on your vehicle of operation as well. Now, this is not something you don't want to do, but without a valid parking permit, parking a food truck in designated zones is prohibited. Navigating the rules. Now, while there are designated food truck zones in New York City specifically, it is important to note that not all areas within these zones are open for food truck parking. Now, certain restrictions do still apply, such as distance limitations from like schools, bus stops, fire hydrants, and other food establishments. Now, moreover, even within these designated zones, there may be time restrictions in New York City for food truck parking. Some areas might only allow certain food trucks during certain hours of the day and also during specific days of the week. Now, it's also crucial for food truck operators to familiarize themselves with these restrictions to avoid any potential violations and potential loss of your truck. Now, there are some exceptions to the rule, though. Although food trucks are subject to regulations and restrictions, there are a few exceptions where they may be allowed to park outside the designated food truck zones. Now, these exceptions include private property, such as parking lots, with the permission of the property owner. However, in such cases, the food truck operator will still need to comply with all relevant health and safety regulations aside from parking ones. Now, additionally, during special events or festivals, the city may designate temporary food truck parking in areas accommodated to increase the demand. Now, these temporary permits for food trucks allow you to operate in specific locations for a limited time, so you got to be aware of the time frame too. However, obtaining these permits often involves a separate application process and even additional fees. Now, this is something that's really important because time to time it does change. You want to stay up to date. New York City's regulations and parking restrictions for food trucks may evolve over time and they may change time to time. So it's definitely essential for food truck operators to stay up to date with any changes or new guidelines introduced by the authorities. Now, the Department of Transportation, the DOT, and the DOHMH websites, as well as local food truck associations, can serve as a valuable resource for the latest information and updates as they change. Definitely by staying informed, you definitely want to be compliant with the regulations and rules. Food truck operators can ensure a smooth and successful operation while serving delicious meals to their eager customers. Now, in closing, you want to keep a couple things in mind. While the idea of parking a food truck anywhere in New York might seem enticing and may even see potentially as opportunity, it's crucial to understand and abide by the rules and regulations and guidelines set by the City of New York. Designated food truck zones, obtaining the necessary permits, and complying with health and safety standards are key factors in legally parking and operating your food truck in the Big Apple. By navigating these rules, staying informed, and maintaining compliance, aspiring food truck entrepreneurs can find their place in the vibrant scene in New York City, obviously making a big profit as well, and delighting locals and tourists alike with their culinary creations. So if you're dreaming of parking your food truck in the heart of New York City that never sleeps, make sure you do it the right way. If this was helpful, definitely give us a big thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, as we mentioned before, definitely hit the subscribe button and check out our videos every week. And I'll see you on our next video.